good morning, good morning. Hey, this morning I'm going to talk about how your story matters. So let's see, I'm on Kimmy's phone. Uh-oh, I messed that up. Because I left my phone in the car. So, what do I mean by your story matters? So some of you may have heard, I don't know, maybe it's 4 or 5 days ago, that I announced my friend Marco Parada from Roatan, Honduras, had decided to move to Lanai. And he got introduced to Lanai and decided to move to Lanai from watching Daily Dose of Salt. And last night, I'd boated over to Maui and picked him up. And it was just kind of a surreal experience, right? Picked him up, we loaded all his suitcases on the boat. I had to fuel up anyway, and so we come back over and get in the car and we go up to his house, which was a minor miracle that he found a place to live here because there's no places to live. But there's a gal who's on a sailboat and she's sailing to Tahiti and she's going to be gone for months and months and months. And so her house was available and he snagged a house and we checked him in last night and then brought him down to our house and had dinner. And today he's getting settled in. Going to start to look for work, which you won't have any trouble finding because he's a handyman, electrician, plumber, carpenter. And there's a huge need for that on Lanai. And he'll make a great living and have plenty of free time to enjoy the island. He's a master scuba diver instructor. So he and I will be doing a lot of diving and hiking and all kinds of other stuff. So, but the point of the story is that Marco would have never moved to Lanai if it wasn't for Daily Dose of Salt. And Daily Dose of Salt is just me sharing my story, right? A lot of different stories, a lot of different perspectives. And I'm not suggesting that you go live every day because that can be obnoxious for you. And maybe it can be obnoxious for other people. And, you know, as soon as people sort of tell me by not watching anymore that I've become boring, I'll quit doing it. But as long as people are getting value out of it and sharing it, that's the only way you really know if people get value is if they share it. As long as people get value and keep sharing it, I'll do it. And I'll do it every day. And why every day? Because it gets me in the habit and it gets you in the habit of being able to count on me and my story. And so, you know, maybe it's a story of something I'm doing on Lanai or doing in my business or doing in life. Or maybe it's some philosophy or distinction of leadership or character building that brings value. But all of that matters, folks. Our voice matters. Our stories matter. And as long as you think they don't matter, well, then you're going to play small in life around influence, and other people aren't going to get the benefit of whatever you have to offer. And it doesn't make any difference if you're successful in business or you have money or you live on an exotic island. None of that matters. What matters is, do you have something of value? And, you know, maybe not what you think is valuable, but what other people think is valuable. Do you have something of value to bring to the world? And if you do, you know, get your story out there. Now, you can do it by a Facebook Live every day or a Facebook Live every week or Instagram Live or stories or whatever those things are. You can write a book, you can write a blog, you can be a travel bloggist. There's all kinds of ways to communicate our story, right? But if you keep your story inside, if you keep your voice inside, well, you don't contribute to other people. And the best way for you and I to live a bigger life, a better life, is to contribute to other people. Surround ourselves with people that resonate with us and we resonate with them, which might be a small tribe, that's okay. But give them what you've got and watch how they resonate with it and watch how it stimulates their creativity and their courage and enhances their competency. And then watch them rise up, and with their rise, you rise. share your story, because it matters. And if you think this live matters, share it. I'm down here at the boat because I rushed off so much last night that I I chose not to flush the motors and clean up the boat, because salt water wreaks havoc on a boat. If you want to learn how to flush the motors, it works like this. Take a freshwater hose, which you get from the end of the dock, and you put it on that little connection right there that normally goes right there. Oop. Sorry, over-rotated the phone. And then you see the fresh water coming out of these ports and down there at the bottom. That flushes the salt water out of the motors and keeps the cooling passages from corroding, and all of that is just the cooling for the motors. So when that hose is plugged back into the motor, it takes salt water from the ocean and runs it through the motor to keep it cool. But then, of course, if you leave that salt water in the passages, it corrodes. So you got to flush it out every time. Oh, look, guess who's back? Yeah. You're wearing a mask on the dock. See you guys tomorrow.